אז אמרה לאלוהי בעודי, אז אמרה לאלוהי בעודי, אהללה, אהללה. אז אמרה לאלוהי בעודי, אז אמרה לאלוהי בעודי, אז אמרה לאלוהי בעודי, אהללה, אהללה. אז אמרה לאלוהי בעודי. Oh, sing to you, all praise to you, oh source of all creation. We call your name, we sing your praise, oh Holy One of blessing. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. אז אמרה לאלוהי בעודי, אז אמרה לאלוהי בעודי, אהללה, אהללה. אז אמרה לאלוהי בעודי.
Welcome everyone to Temple Israel. It's great to be here at the conclusion of another week. It's great to be here to celebrate Shabbat with all of you, and especially to celebrate the beginning of the bar mitzvah of Reuben Lissick Nierenberg, who's going to be leading us in so much of services this Shabbat. And you have a passing familiarity with our bar mitzvah boy this week, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
you know, I actually didn't think I was going to cry, but I cried before we even started. So, hoping that I got that out of the way.
Well, to my colleague on the Bima, who we've been through many B'nai Mitzvah with already, I wish you a big mazal tov and hope that this weekend you get to enjoy it both as Cantor Lissick and as Shira Lissick, because you're both of those people at once, and we celebrate with the Cantor and with Shira and her family this Shabbos.
Thanks, Robert.
So, Reuben, can you please bring your dad Lloyd and your sister Ma'ayan up to the Bima to welcome in Shabbat with the lighting of the Shabbos candles? And I invite everyone to please rise.
Hey, baby. Okay, we're gonna go like this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. May be seated. Reuben, you're going to stay up here with us because Reuben's going to lead us in Kabbalat Shabbat, the opening songs and prayers. And we turn in our Sidor Lev Shalem to page 11. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God as we raise our voices in song. Page 11, Lechuner Anana.
Lehuner anena, lehuner anena, lehuner anena, ladonai, lehuner anena, lehuner anena, naria, letoyishenu, nekadma, fanaf betoda, fanaf betoda, fanaf betoda, nekadma, fanaf betoda. Bismillah, naria la, lehuner anena, lehuner anena, lehuner anena, ladonai, lehuner anena, lehuner anena, naria, letoyishenu.
That was amazing.
The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice, the sea and its fullness roar, the meadows and all that grows in them exult, even the trees of the forest shall sing praise as God comes. Middle of page 14 at the red arrow, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yisbehu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yisbehu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yisbehu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yirab hayam. Yirab hayam. Yirab hayam. Ubelav. Yirab hayam. Yirab hayam. Yirab hayam. Ubelav. Yisbehu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yisbehu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yisbehu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz.
We continue on page 20, the final 3 lines of the page, again at the red arrow with Romamu.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtahavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtahavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtahavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtahavu lehar kodsho.
Turn to page 23. Reuben leads us in Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zahor b'dibor ehad. Yishmianu el hamiuhad. Adonai ehad u'shemo ehad. L'shimo tifaret v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lehuven el haki mekor habraha. Merosh mikedem nesuha. Sof ma'aseh b'machavat shehilah. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Yaminu shmo tifrotzi. Ve'yad Adonai tariti. Al yadish ben parti v'nishmeha v'nagila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'tohola. Tov emunei am segula. Boi halav. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. P'nei Shabbat nekabela.
May be seated. Yasher Koach, Reuben, for getting us started. Let's turn to page 27, a song for the day of Shabbat, Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat.
We begin with a melody because where words and music takes over and reaches directly to God. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Uzamer l'shimcha elyon, Ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Le'hagid baboker, baboker chasdecha, צדיק תמר יפרע כארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ירבו מסביבת דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיק ישר אדוני צורי ולא הבלטה בו.
Page 29.
Adonai malaki ulavesh, lavesh Adonai ozit azarav tikon tever bal timot mikolot mayim rabim adirim mishmereyam adir bamarom Adonai erotecha nemnim elvitcha navakodesh Adonai leorech yamim.
I invite you to please rise as we share with our children, with our friends, our neighbors, our community members, our family, the words of the ancient Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing.
We'll join our voices together in Ken Yehi Ratzon. This is a joyful moment. Hopefully the tears will be done tonight, and tomorrow we'll just have fun, y'all. This is a fun thing. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. We all sing together. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
May God's Spirit shine upon you and may God be gracious unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. Ken Yehi Ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Ken Yehi Ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
May God's Spirit turn unto you and may God grant you shalom, grant you peace. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May be seated. We now turn to our prayers for healing as we think of those in our lives in need of physical and spiritual well-being. And this Shabbat, we call to mind Shimon ben Yaakov, Mordechai ben Naomi, Perel bat Rezel, Malka bat Sarah, Leib Yisrael ben Avraham v'Tzipora, Eliza Meira bat Leah, Tzivya bat Chana, Elijah Avila, Yafa Fega bat Sisalbina, Kathy Berlin, Karenina Esther, Adina Miriam, Harry Kinney, Kevin Haffey, Ben Sion Chai ben Rachel, Miriam bat Rivka, Jean Cook, Dennis Carroll, Eber Yitzchak, Mordechai Chaim ben Leah, Bluma Duva, Malka Sarah bat Ruben Verut, Hachazan Arya Shimon ben Chana, Eleanor Goldman, Sophie Galinsky, Harvey Stone, Sarah Ella bat Arya Leib, Maxine Albaum, Shmuel ben Shimon, Chana bat Bina, Chaim Yitzchak ben Gittel Fagel, Shmuel ben Regina, Mitchell Radin, Lieber Ephraim ben Malka, Yaakov ben Moshe, Shneir Zalman ben Chana Mindel, Julie Duke, Benjamin Shmuel ben Yehudi, Talia Weinstein, Yitzchak David ben Yael Sima, Yaakov Burton, Moshe Chanan ben Avraham Yosef Halevi, Ital Chaya, Yitzchak ben Yosef Rivka, Hershel Yoshua ben Malka, David Shmuel ben Chava, Matal Centrovich, Shmuel Hershel Weiss, Moshe ben Zev, Chanan ben Lazer, David Cohen, Reuven ben Shaul Halevi, Malka bat Simcha Eliyahu v'Sara Devora, Yitzchak David Davis, Leah Davis. If you'd like to include someone in a prayer for healing, I invite you to rise and to share their names when I come to you.
David Kaplan, Uma Butts, Leah, Rivka bat Rachel, and Aharon Samir ben Avraham.
Leah, Rachel, bat Eva, and Lisa.
Jeffrey Brennan, Ryan Lennon, Richard Felling, Rich Smith, Elizabeth Carroll, Ginny Rivera.
Jeffrey Katz.
Enrique Tamudo.
Shmuel Mordechai ben Michal Leah.
Jonathan Davis.
Nancy Solutions.
Kol HaCholim and all those who are ill, we join together the prayer for healing.
Let's join our voices together. El na rifanallah. El na rifanallah. El na rifanallah. Mi sheberach imotenu. El na rifanallah. El na rifanallah. Mi sheberach imotenu. Grant us refuah shleima. Grant us refuah shleima. May the source of healing renew our bodies, renew our spirit, and let us say Amen.
We turn to page 30, and I invite those in mourning or marking a yard site to rise and join me in the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalmad yivera kirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shemei rabbah mevorach leolam ulomei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechamata damiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. May be seated. Shabbat shalom. Cantor, you fled the bima when I was going to talk to you up here. Well, it's okay. You can stay down over there. So, tomorrow morning when we take out the Torah, we're going to open it up, and we're going to open it up to a new book, the third book of the Torah, Sefer Vayikra. And Reuben, what's your Torah portions called? Also called Vayikra. And in English, we're very familiar with the name. In English, it's called Leviticus. And Leviticus is kind of a strange sounding word. Why do you think it's called Leviticus? Anyone know? Justin, you look like you were going to say something. It does sound a little bit like a Harry Potter spell. I'll tell you what, by the end of Shabbat, by tomorrow morning, I want you to tell me what Leviticus does if you use your wand properly. So that's your challenge for tomorrow. And Justin, I also loved seeing you sitting over here. Okay. Leviticus, anyone? All right, Steve. Steve, you were raising your hand. It is a Greek form of the word for the Levites, one of the ancient tribes of Israel. Mayan, were you raising your hand? No? Okay. Fair enough. Leviticus relates to the Levites because Sefer Vayikra, the early parts of Vayikra, are concerned almost exclusively with the work of the Levites, the one tribe that was assigned to care for the Mishkan, for the ancient temple. And some among the Levites, some selected families, the family of Aaron and his sons, were further selected to be the Kohanim, the priests who actually served inside the temple. And Leviticus addresses the topic of sacrifices, of korbanot, of how our ancestors worshiped God. And these sacrifices weren't carried out by just anyone. They could only be offered by the priests with the help of the Levites. So most of the people of Israel, most of the ancient Jewish people, would have had no idea how to offer a sacrifice, what to do with all of these bulls and birds and flour offerings and oil and frankincense, all the smelly barbecue stuff that they have described in Vayikra. And it remains a very challenging book to read and a hard book to give sermons on, a hard book to draw meaning out of. But it's right there in the center of the Torah. And we spend the next few weeks talking about sacrifices, talking about the work of the Levites. And I think there's something really significant about that, something really important. And Reuben, it's really great that your bar mitzvah is on Parshat Vayikra because you are a clergy kid. Now, you also descend from a family of Levites on your mother's side. Your mother is a descendant of the tribe of Levi, and your grandfather. So you descend from those ancient Leviim, from those ancient Levites. But I think that the book of Vayikra is there in the middle of the Torah, even though what's in it doesn't concern most of the people of Israel, is a message that in fact does. Even though it's the Levites and the priests who are carrying out the sacrifices, who are doing this, everybody else in the community should feel invested in it, should feel part of it, should recognize that what goes on, even behind the curtain of the temple, is part of their rich communal life as well, as part of their worship of God. They should care how the Levites are doing. They should care what the Levites are doing from day to day. They should understand a little bit of what the Levites and the Kohanim have to do when they enter the temple. And I think keeping Sefer Vayikra there in the middle of the Torah is a great lesson about clergy and communities today. Because, Cantor, as you know, so much of what we do, so many of the discussions that we have are really esoteric, aren't they? We talk about some strange sounding things that ultimately most people would not really understand as we talk about, do we do this prayer or that prayer? Do we use this melody or that melody? When do we bow? When do we, all of that stuff that we generally talk about. And people in the congregation generally kind of see the finished product. They see when the service comes out, when we come together to sing, to worship God together. But Sefer Vayikra teaches us that worship of God is a communal affair. Even though there are clergy who are leading it, it is everyone's responsibility to be part of it, to have an awareness of what is going on. And I think even more than that, the Levites were a little bit removed from the other tribes of Israel. They lived close to the Mishkan. They lived close to that to the temple, slightly away from the other tribes, slightly removed, separated from the other tribes. And yet they are linked together. They are close together. And clergy today also have that somewhat interesting position of living in a community, but sometimes also feeling a little bit apart from it, as separate, as servants of the community. And an occasion like your bar mitzvah, Reuben, reminds us that we are all one community. The clergy and everyone in the synagogue comes together to celebrate, comes together to pray, comes together to serve God and to serve the community. And you have that very important parsha that you're going to teach us about tomorrow morning and chant for us, where we hear about our earliest ancestors, how they worship God. So, Mazel Tov, Reuben. I'm excited for you over the course of Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We turn to page 39, and I invite you to rise for the Baruch Hu.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Ba'ed. Le'olam Ba'ed.
May be seated. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from before the light.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המריב הרבים
Amen. Page 40.
אהבת עולם תתרא עמך אהבת תורה מצוות משפטים אתם כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, והם נגע יומם ולילה, ועבדך תשים ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לגות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך והיה עם שמוע תשמע זאת אשר אינך מתפסך מהם Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Then Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang this song to you, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, top of page 44.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם. Mi chamo, you want to sing? Ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha Ba'elim, mi chamocha nedar b'hakodesh, mi chamocha nedar nora tehilot osefele nora tehilot osefele Bahuta rauvaneha bokeh ayam lifnei Moshe Ze'eli anu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. We join our voices together. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ba'elim, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאל מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. Allow us, Adonai our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Blessed are you who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 45, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom V'ha'amidenu Malkeinu L'hayim Ufros aleinu Sukkot Lomecha Ufros aleinu Sukkot Lomecha Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai, guard us from all harmful things. O Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right. Oh, Adonai, Amen. Amen, Amen. Amen, Amen. Amen, Amen.
Yasher Koch to Reuben and Maayan.
Pros aleinu sukat shelomecha.
Baruch atah.
ושמור צאתנו בואנו לכם ושלום יתה ויד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Page 46, please rise for Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת בי נפש, שבת בי נפש, שבת בי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולם יומיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לעילם עם כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו אמן.
We spend the next few moments in silent prayer with the words of the Amidah, beginning page 47.
When you've completed your Amidah, you may be seated. לרצונים רפים. יהיו לרצונים רפים. וגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי וגואלי. May the words of my mouth and meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, ve'imeru. Amen.
We continue with Kaddish Shalem, page 54.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
בעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחייתך בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולם לעולמיה. יתברך יתברך וישבח ויפר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתעזר ויצלח ויצלח שמי קודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה וימרו אמן. תתקבל צלתנו ובאותנו זוכו ישראל קודם אבוהוני וישמעי ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלום הרב אמין שמעי וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ויאמרו אמן. Amen.
So over the last few months, Reuben has been doing this little gimmick where he'll come up during Kiddush and he'll be like hunched over, pretending to be a little kid, asking for grape juice. And last week we had our Bet class Shabbat service, our second graders leading the services, and Reuben comes up on that side and says, my last week getting a little Kiddush cup. So this week, Reuben's going to lead us in Kiddush from his brand new silver Kiddush cup courtesy of his grandparents. Please rise, page 55. I'm going to invite any kids to join me on this side for Kiddush. You can come in too, Justin.
Page 55, love. You can drink the whole bottle. Wait 1 second. Wait, it's not on. And let them just... What's happening? Oh, do you want this? Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hidhilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah l'mikra'ei kodesh zeher l'tziat mitzrayim.
Kivanu v'harta
ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodsheha be'ahava uvratzon hinhautanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabat.
Amen.
L'chaim, Yasher Koach, Reuben.
Great job, Biddy.
Reuben, does it taste as good as a bar mitzvah? Excellent. Continue with Aleinu, page 56. Sure.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ליוסר הארץ, ומה שביקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבים מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת עינות, רק נקבל לכם כי המלכות שלך יולמת ימלוך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
May be seated. We turn to page 58. This week we observe the Yortzites of B. David Grant, Bella Boxer, Henry Levin, Hilda Maliver Kersner, Linda Oberlander, Martin Oberlander, Anita Flitzer Shapiro, Chaim Levner, Frida Edelstein, Irene Weisberger, Jacob Thaler, Leonard Wallace, Sam Stein, Samuel Goldfarb, Walter Shapiro, Esther Chicky Newman, Harry Aaron Mackler, Katie Yasilowitz, Louis Eldon, Zelig Ben-Yankel, Francis Meiselman Jaffe, Herbert Fetter-Katz, Max Ablowitz, Richard Hurd, Ruth Schinbaum Nathan, Yetta Schaefer, Alvin London, David Shapiro, Florence Weinstein Jacobson, Henry Fox, Joseph Kaplan, Beatrice Jacobs, Esther Lamb, Louis Riley, Minnie Norman, Paula Levine, Hyman Bruck, Hyman Katzen, Melvin Teitelbaum, Murray Bryn, Philip Rosenberg, Reba Brenner, Roberta Joan Gutstein, Rose Lewis Eisner, Rose Weissman, Yetta Krieger, David Schmaling, Jay Walensky, and Shirley Goodman. We also extend condolences to families in the midst of Shiva and Shloshim, to Deborah Pizer on the loss of her husband, Ed Pizer, of blessed memory, to Renee Steiner on the loss of her husband, Joseph Steiner, to Andrew Zatlin on the loss of his father, Gabriel Zatlin, to Larry Betensky on the loss of his mother, Vivian Betensky, and to Ruth Paul on the loss of her brother, Robert Epner. And we sent out a number of emails today, condolence announcements, and sadly we suffered a number of losses in the community and relatives of community members this week, and it gives each of us the chance to participate in the mitzvah of Nichum Avelim, of offering comfort to those who are mourning. And so a number of logistical announcements for the next week. Vivian Petensky moved to our community during the pandemic, and because of her health and the pandemic, was not really able to become so active here at Temple Israel, although she was very happy and excited to be here in Charlotte. Her funeral will be held 2:30 on Sunday at the Charlotte Hebrew Cemetery, and coming from a very small family, we could use some help making a minyan at the cemetery Sunday at 2:30. So I invite any members of the congregation who are able to support Vivian's family to join us Sunday at 2:30. Ruth lost her brother, Robert Epner, of blessed memory. Robert will be buried in Israel, probably on Monday, and Ruth will be observing Shiva starting on Monday through Thursday. with minions at Ruth and Frank's home, 7 o'clock p.m., Monday through Thursday. We're going to move the Temple Israel minion to their house for those days. I invite you to join them to extend your condolences to Ruth. Going out of order, Sunday, Renee Steiner and family will be here at 5:30 to say Kaddish for Joseph Steiner, who was buried yesterday. He was a longtime member of the community, and we invite people to come extend their condolences Sunday at 5:30 to the Steiner family. Page 58, invite those in mourning or marking a yortzeit to rise and join me in the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach leolam olameo maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran bi'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Hoseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. May be seated. Representing the Temple Israel Board of Trustees, I call on Tommy Mann and Claire Mann. Claire, your very own grape juice.
Thank you.
Welcome congregants and guests who are here for Reuben's bar mitzvah. Welcome to Temple Israel. Reuben, you did a wonderful job this evening, and we're looking forward to watching you become a bar mitzvah tomorrow. It's such a special opportunity to get to watch our cantor and her son lead our congregation together. Thanks to Rabbi Wolk, Cantor Lissick, Sean Sievert for live stream, and Adam Ward for the beautiful piano music. Temple Israel will host a second Seder on April 6th. Please register at the Temple Israel website by this coming Tuesday. We're almost at capacity, so please don't delay in making your reservation. On April 16th, the Charlotte community will commemorate Yom HaShoah here at Temple Israel. The program will feature our own Cantor Lissick, Temple Bethel's Cantor Thomas, and members of the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra. The program will honor Holocaust survivors with a service and picture presentation at the beginning of the event. Wodi invites the entire congregation to the annual Wodi Shabbat on Friday, April 21st. The program is geared towards all women of Temple Israel, regardless of Wodi affiliation, and details will be on our website this coming week. And be sure to check out all of our programs on the Temple Israel website, and I look forward to seeing you all at services tomorrow morning. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom. Thank you, Tommy and Claire. Tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m., Shabbat morning services and the bar mitzvah of Reuben Lissick Nierenberg. Come early if you want to get a seat. We conclude on page 5 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Boachem Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
L'Shalom, Melech Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ayay Tzidkem, L'Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyonim, Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Mazel Tov.